Hello and welcome, decision makers and choice architects. Today, we're exploring a book that might just change the way you think about the choices you make every day. It's called Nudge: Improving Decisions About Health, Wealth, and Happiness by Richard H. Thaler and Cass R. Sunstein. Are you ready to dive into the world of behavioral economics and choice architecture? Let's begin. First, let's address the core concept. What exactly is a nudge? In the context of this book, a nudge is any aspect of the choice architecture that alters people's behavior in a predictable way without forbidding any options or significantly changing their economic incentives. To put it simply, it's a gentle push in the right direction. Now, here's a question for you. Have you ever made a decision that you later regretted, even though you had all the information you needed at the time? If you're nodding along, you're not alone, and the concept of nudging might offer some insights. Thaler and Sunstein argue that we're not the perfectly rational beings that traditional economics assumes we are. Instead, we're prone to a variety of biases and errors in judgment. They call this more realistic model of human behavior humans, as opposed to the theoretical econs of classical economics. Let's break down some key ideas from the book. Choice architecture. This is the idea that the way choices are presented to us can significantly influence our decisions. For example, the order of items on a menu can affect what we choose to eat. Take a moment to reflect. Can you think of a time when the presentation of options influenced your choice? Libertarian paternalism. This is the author's philosophy that it's possible and desirable for organizations and governments to influence behavior while still respecting freedom of choice. The goal is to make it easier for people to make decisions that benefit them. Default options. We tend to stick with the default option, even when it's not the best choice for us. This is why many successful programs, like organ donation or retirement savings, use opt-out rather than opt-in systems. Here's where nudges come in. The authors argue that by carefully designing choice environments, we can help people make better decisions without restricting their freedom. Let's look at some examples. Health. Placing healthier foods at eye level in cafeterias can increase their consumption without banning junk food. Wealth. Automatically enrolling employees in retirement savings plans with the option to opt out can significantly increase savings rates. Happiness. Using social norms to encourage positive behaviors, like showing people how their energy use compares to their neighbors. Now you might be wondering, is this manipulation? Is it ethical? Thaler and Sunstein argue that nudges are inevitable. There's no such thing as a neutral choice architecture. So, we might as well design them to help people. Let's try a quick exercise. Think about a decision you regularly face. Maybe it's choosing lunch or deciding whether to exercise. How could you nudge yourself towards a better choice? Could you pre-commit to a healthier option or make the better choice the easier one? The authors suggest several principles for effective nudging. Give feedback. Let people know how they're doing. Expect error. Design systems that are forgiving of human mistakes. Structure complex choices. Break down difficult decisions into manageable steps. Create incentives. Align rewards with desired behaviors. Here's a challenge for you. Over the next week, try to identify nudges in your environment. How are stores, websites, or your workplace trying to influence your choices? Are these nudges helping or hindering you? Remember, the goal of nudging isn't to control people, but to help them make better choices as judged by themselves. It's about making the right choice the easy choice. As we wrap up, consider this. What if many of our societal problems, from obesity to low savings rates to climate change, could be addressed not through heavy-handed regulation, but through smarter choice architecture? Nudge suggests that by understanding human behavior and designing our environments thoughtfully, we can improve decisions about health, wealth, and happiness, both for ourselves and for society at large. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of nudge. I hope these ideas have given you a new perspective on decision-making and choice architecture. Until next time, stay curious, be aware of the nudges around you, and remember, sometimes a little push in the right direction can make all the difference.